What is the role of the coefficient a in an exponential function? The coefficient a has two roles. 1. It is the initial value of the function. 2. It determines if the function is positive or negative. If a is positive, then the function values f of x are positive. If a is negative, then the function values f of x are negative. You should know that exponential functions can never have the value 0. This is because no matter what x is, b raised to the power of x is never 0. This means that an exponential function can only be positive or negative, and it never crosses over to the other side of the x-axis. After all, a positive number b raised to the power of x will always be positive. So it is the sign of the coefficient a which determines the sign of the function. That is why some function, f of x, is called positive when its function values are always positive. And why some function g of x is called negative when its function values are always negative. Let's look at an example of a positive function. You have the function f of x equals 3 times 0.50 to the power of x. This is an exponential function where a equals 3 and b equals 0.50. Its graph looks like this. First, note that f of 0 equals 3. This means that the initial value of f of x equals 3. Also, 3 is a positive number. This means that the function f of x is positive. In other words, the graph will always stay above the x-axis and intersect the y-axis at y equals 3. Now let's look at an example of a negative function. You have the function g of x equals minus 4 times 2 to the power of x. Here, a equals minus 4, meaning g of x is a negative function. Its graph looks like this. The graph is always below the x-axis, meaning g of x is negative. In this case, it intersects the y-axis at 0, minus 4. The coefficient a has two roles. 1. It is the initial value of the function. 2. It determines if the function is positive or negative. If a is positive, then the function values f of x are positive. If a is negative, then the function values f of x are negative.